And this is a podcast. You probably heard of it, called the Joe Rogan Experience. The most listened to, I believe. He looks poor as AF. Yeah, probably is. I'm rich. I'm sure he is. But this is so Elon Musk went on the Joe Rogan Experience. He did that, I think, like 2 times leading up the election, and just talked. I think it was kind of a big. Joe Rogan came out and supported Trump. Kamala Harris wouldn't do a podcast, and they're talking about, oh yeah, that could have lost her the election. I don't know if it did, but people are like, how do we win young men now? How do we win young men? But Elon Musk went on the Joe Rogan Experience, and he mentioned that he was playing video games. He's actually one of like the top 20 Diablo players. He was like number 19 on there's like the hardest dungeon in D4 apparently is called the Pit, and he has the number 19th result for the Pit. And this would be like a cool thing. Like 20 years ago, games media would be like, whoa, this is so awesome. The richest man in the world. It plays a hardcore gamer. He's talking about video games on the most popular podcast in the world. And he's going to be like, I don't know about the right-hand man, but he's very entrenched with the soon-to-be most powerful man in the world, in Donald Trump. You'd think that, whoa, this is gamers rising up. This is gamers at the top of the world. Wouldn't games journalists be like, really think this was really awesome? This is really cool. I mean, back in the day, you'd all think, oh, you're wasting life playing video games. Video games are a waste of time. All these unpopular, stereotypes with gamers and gaming. Isn't this a repudiation of all of that? The richest, most successful man on earth, the guy's trying to put people on Mars. How does he unwind? He plays video games. And not just, ordinary video games. He's doing hardcore grinding in Diablo, stuff that takes hundreds of hours. But instead of cheering this on, thinking, whoa, this is pretty awesome. I mean, no matter what you think of the guy's politics, it's pretty cool that the richest man in the world likes video games. No, they didn't take it that way. Instead, they want to throw out petty insults and look like really small human beings by mocking Elon Musk here. So this is an article. Elon Musk somehow became a top-ranked Diablo 4 player in between cheerleading for Trump. The world's richest man told Joe Rogan he mastered the Pit. This is by Ethan Gatch on Kotaku. And this is sort of some of the things that he went over. I kind of highlighted some stuff on Red. Even if it Musk account, not everyone believes that he did all the work. So immediately it's like, oh, he's a CEO of multiple companies. How could he have the time to do all this? He probably paid someone. How does a CEO of multiple companies always posting on social media and currently campaigning on behalf of convicted felon Donald Trump for president find the time? Did he hire someone to farm loot on the account or buy gear off the black market? Or maybe Smooth Brain. I guess it's Smooth Brain to play Diablo 4. Smooth Brain vibing. Diablo 4 is really the aggrieved billionaire's happy. Just the absolute, what's the best word for looking for? Like, it's just malice. I don't know, malice. It's just like this. I need something a little more petty. A word more petty than malice. It's just, this sarcastic insult. Like, oh, convicted felon. Oh, this is Smooth Brain vibing, but a aggrieved billionaire. It's so pathetic. It goes on. Here, I love this paragraph. The discussion came days after Musk failed to show up in court over a lawsuit alleging that he was running an illegal lottery in Pennsylvania to help register people to vote for Trump. Maybe he was too busy grinding Diablo 4. The judge ultimately still ruled in his favor. So, in the beginning of the sentence, so he has to try to imply that he was running an illegal lottery and that he was just too busy grinding Diablo. Huh, what an idiot to show up in court. And then literally at the last sentence, yeah, jealous is probably a good word. The judge ultimately ruled us. So this last sentence, he just completely says like, nah, it wasn't illegal. That why even mention it then? Because he has to. He's such a loser that he has to try and like imply that he was doing something illegal, even though he literally says in the final sentence that the judge threw it out. It's not illegal. That it was just some lawfare. Well, he's too busy grinding Diablo to. The judge threw it out because it had no merit. Why even include this paragraph? It's just one. This is just terrible journalism. This is supposed to be an article about how Elon Musk is a top 20 Diablo player, but he just has to throw in any shade he can to Elon Musk. It's just so sad and really unprofessional. And then we have PC Gamer by Joshua Woolens here. Elon Musk says he's one of the world's top 20 Diablo 4 players, still reckons he was a Quake all-time great even after its actual best player said he wasn't very good. And then immediately says Musk is sitting pretty with the number 4 clear time. Why not just say he is a top 20 Diablo player? I mean, literally in your byline, you're saying he's top 19 in the pit. So what's the point? And then he has to he has to just throw in this little insult, this little petty insult. But when he said he played Quake, the guy that said play Quake said he wasn't really good. He actually mentioned that like Musk is like an OG Quake player that they used to play together on the same server. Of course, he said he beat him, but he trashed him because he's one of the best Quake players of all time. So, but here's the first Josh's great writing here. When he's not being sued, this is it's the same thing you saw in the last article from Kotaku. It's just they can't just report the news. They can't be happy about it. They can't find the silver lining. This is the positive people, the normal people who can't see the coolness in the guy that's trying to put people on Mars, make humanity a multi-planetary species, plays video games. Instead, we're going to mention that he's being sued by Brave Runner, fantasizing about using the steel grip of autocracy to gut the government, or admitting his promise self-driving cars may never drive themselves. Man, what a failure Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, must be. How crazy is that? Oops. Wow. And God help us. A gamer. Elon Musk is God help us. Why is that a bad thing? These people are so pathetic. It's amazing. In fact, you can catch him over at his alt account on X that he set up specifically to share clips and streams of his game sessions, which the 53-year-old father of 12 named Cyber Gamer 420. Oh, wow. He's brings up that he's 53 years old. Like, whoa, aren't you too old for this? Aren't you a dad of 12? Are these people supposed to be games journalists? Like, are these people pro video gaming? So let me just throw out every negative stare. Oh man, you're too old to be playing games, dude. That's kind of weird. Wow, aren't you a dad? Shouldn't you be giving up games? Oh wow, you use old leet speak as a handle. And this is 100% early 2000s, late 90s leet speak, cyber gamer 420. It's fun. It's fun, but these people hate it. Hate it. Oh, now I'm stuck on the accidentally zoomed. I'm still getting used to using these slides, guys. This help me? Oh, there we go. Either way, Musk is definitely, again, he has to put this not bad. He hates the idea that he has to actually mention that Musk playing a Spiritborn, which is, this is another stuff, mentioned irrelevant stuff, which is probably D4's most overpowered class right now. But immediately he has to say, oh, wow, he's playing an OP class. Then immediately in the next, not even they do hate fun. Exactly. But then so much of the entirety of the top 400. So it's not like he had an unfair advantage. So he's basically saying, yeah, Spiritborn super OP, but everyone else in the top 400 is using it. So I guess it's not an unfair advantage. But there's justice in all of this. So this is Joshua Woolens over on Blue Sky because he doesn't post on Twitter anymore. After the election, a petty gripe in the grand scheme of things, But I think what most enrages me on a basal animal level is that Elon Musk got what he wanted. Oh, and now he's just seething. He's seething about the Trump victory and Elon Musk being in the White House. This is what you get, Joshua. This is what you get. Enjoy the cope. Enjoy the seething, Joshua. As gamers rise to the top of the world. Last one I'm going to mention. This was Paul Tassi. I'll give Paul credit where credit's due. I don't like him. He's again a very liberal journalist, but Elon Musk says he's a global top 20 Diablo 4 player, and it's actually true. So this is just for comparison, an actual professional title, rather than saying like he's a top 20 Diablo player, but he really sucks at Quake. That one guy totally said he sucked. It actually just states what's true. And I didn't have any screenshots of the article, but the article was actually fair. It said, yeah, he's a top 400 player. Some people said that can't believe that he did it all himself, but there's no proof that he didn't. So there's what are you gonna saying about that? I mean, if there's no evidence that he didn't, I mean, he has the resources. He could pay someone to play it. He could buy items using real life money to make up for the time that he uses tweeting or running his companies. But there's really no evidence to say the contrary. So what are you going to do? If you're a journalist, you just report the news instead of being a petty loser like some of the other articles. So good for Paul Tassi for actually making a decent article, and he not using a irrelevant. This was his Halloween costume, using a relevant picture rather than say, of course, Kotaku using like the most autistic Elon Musk picture they could. His jumping does look super autistic, but that's really just used to insult them.